Let's now also talk about an issue that a lot of women in this country will relate to. Clearly, India is not being seen as a very safe place for women. There's a certain sense of disappointment as far as security arrangements for women in the country is concerned. We feel let down by the state largely. You call it terror against women, all these crimes that are being perpetuated and so on and so forth. I couldn't agree more with you, but I'd like you to put in context, how do you think this problem can be dealt with? What can be the role of the country as well as the common citizens in ensuring that we can make our country a better place for women and to that effect even for smaller children?
I think we have to step back again, and take a look at the big picture here and look at this problem from 2-3 angles. So I'm not getting into the fact that when a rape happens, people agitate against it and they ask for stricter laws and they ask for better policing and all that it's got its place and perhaps there is a viewpoint there. But I think we have to look at it from another point of view. Let's say a young woman gets raped in a mall in, say, Gurgaon, and the response to that is that now all women have to be dropped back home. They have to be escorted after a certain time in the day. The cabs have to be arranged and they can't be employed for more than, say, 8 o'clock at night. What this effectively does is it sends a signal to the businesses, don't employ women, right? It sends a signal into the hinterland of India, the small towns of Jabalpur or medium-sized towns of Jaipur or Aligarh, don't send your girls to work in the cities. Now what that does is, economically, it deprives an entire community because of this one incident that has happened there. So every time a rape takes place, you and I actually end up paying for it, literally in the economic sense, because the cost structure of those businesses goes up. And an entire workforce, half the workforce literally, is deprived from an equal opportunity to work, to just come to work and to be able to go back. Like in your industry, I'm sure a lot of people have to go back late because that's the nature of this business. True. Now, immediately the cost structure for this business starts going up and a lot of people who would otherwise have an equal opportunity to work would start finding themselves fighting, as it is, women have to fight, several issues to be able to be on an equal footing at the workplace. Now, this becomes an additional problem. So I think it has to be looked at from an economic point of view. And many of these reactions that we have as a society that because a woman has been molested or raped, the immediate reaction is placing a ban on them. It's not just illogical, but it is also uneconomical.
And a lot of cases then go unreported.
And they will go unreported because people, you want to be able to go and earn a living, and you realize that unless you are able to sort of manage your way through, that's not going to be possible. So I think the right answer there is not to ask for stricter laws. It is to ask for the rigorous and the continued pursuance of every case that happens and say that come what may, we're not going to let this guy get away. No matter what resources it takes, but you don't mess with our women, because if you go after any one of us, we will come after you till kingdom come. And this is non-negotiable. Now, unless that non-negotiability of this issue is put up there and chased by the media, by activists, by social groups, it's going to be, again, an incident will happen, it will get its due coverage for a few weeks, then some other disaster will happen, and that will go out of the mind share, and such instances will just continue to rise.